All right. I had the opportunity of being in a class this year, 2025, and joining an academy known as ACID. Okay, it's an academy made of innovators and disruptors of the norm in all areas of life, in business. Okay. I had the opportunity of meeting Mr. Adebayo Aderibigbe, who was a guest speaker in that academy. And I would love to share some, thought-provoking things he shared with everyone at the academy that day. So I'll be sharing his slides. I acknowledge his slides, and I believe these things that we've learned should be shared with as many persons as possible. So first off, what's so important, what's so spectacular about Mr. Aderibigbe? We're going to find out in subsequent slides. Okay, first off, Mr. Aderibigbe started his career in 2005 at Equatorial Trust Bank Limited as he joined Central Bank of Nigeria in 2008 as a senior supervisor. He joined Chevron Nigeria Limited in 2011. Then as application support analyst. So this just looking through is like his curriculum vitae. He earned MSc in data science in 2018, became one of the first data scientists at Chevron Nigeria, then served as lead data scientist at Chevron in both Nigeria and the US, delivered over $3 million in business value through data-driven projects, founded Lekki Data Science Meetup in 2017, and first deep learning AI ambassador in West Africa and second in Africa. In 2018, he implemented personal data science for good project to tackle a national challenge of out-of-school children. He was recognized by Data Science Nigeria in 2019 for contribution to AI ecosystem. He collaborated with a U.S. university professor to deepen his research competence and supported a PhD student through her PhD research work. He was granted U.S. permanent residency via the EB-1A visa in 2024 for exceptional ability, and he founded Epistes Analyticals in the US. Now, if we look at this man's career, you see how he started small and gradually he moved up the ladder, and he worked in great places in Nigeria. Like he worked in when you work in Central Bank, everybody is just like, he worked with very prominent, he worked in prominent places, let me say that. And he went beyond, if you go down, you see West Africa, then he moved. He was not static, he's expanding. And I often tell my students that there is no place called I have arrived. You just need to start expanding yourself. And he said something really phenomenal that we need to look at. He said everywhere he walked, he looked around, he looked at the kind of people, the caliber of persons that were there, and he asked some very relevant questions. What's your future? What's the goal for the future? What more do you want? Is this everything that it is that you want? Is this all? And they came up and said, fine, I'm working in one of the best places in Nigeria. What more do you want? And there is a yearning deep inside of him to be more. Then from there, he looks around and says, no, I need more. He started, skilling up, just like we mentioned before, skilling up, and started volunteering, started giving himself out, giving more, building himself and giving more. Such that, right now, everybody's saying, it's really tough to go to the US. He was granted a U.S. permanent residency. So it has to get us to start thinking that no matter how hard it is, certain people are doing it right. And it's not just by saying they are lucky or grace or, some people just get blessed, our destinies are different, all those kind of excuses and that we keep making. We should look deep and try to identify the work that certain persons did or are doing to make relevance. He taught us that becoming world-class is possible because he looked at himself that he knew that he was a person meant for more. Are we telling our children that they are made for more, or we've made them believe there's a place called there? As long as you have money, you've got it. Or are you pushing them to be passionate about unleashing their potentials and more? He told us it was about becoming world-class. Like, don't settle for status quo. Don't settle for less. Go for more, dare for more, because you were made for more. So he told us, why become world-class? You need to become world-class. You need global relevance. You need to move beyond comfort and do more. Because you were created for more. You need global acceptance. Donald Trump has said nobody should come to the US. If you're going to come into the US, you give strict, is making it strict. If we look deep into it, many of us don't like liabilities. And I start looking at it, please. I stand corrected that also the US is getting away from liabilities, trying to restrict liabilities and wants more for themselves. Global opportunities. We need to start making our children get themselves prepared for global relevance, irrespective of whom they are and what they are. Global acceptance, global opportunities, and global mobility. What do we mean by global mobility? Ability to move from one country to another, from one country to another or from one place to another without restraint. Yes, without restraint. Because if you look at the likes of, let's look at the likes of Dangote, Adenuga, Mike Adenuga, Aliko Dangote, the rest of them. Let's look beyond that, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Those people making, that of global relevance. I don't think there's any country that will put a restraint to them. So we need to start building our kids right when they are young, right from now, to begin to see the bigger picture, to begin to see big things, to begin to see better things beyond status quo. Being world class is attainable if the kids are ready and parents are ready to lay the foundation and push them to do it right. It doesn't matter what their background is. It doesn't matter what school has said about them. They have strengths and they can do it. So being world class is attainable. Being world class is available to anyone. We didn't see here where they wrote the rich. We didn't say the mighty, the strong, the intelligent. Anyone who will dare to seize it. So since everyone has potential, everyone is created to be world class. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Must have to become world class. What are the things we have? These are part of the things already shared before, but this is just, we'll just go through it. Knowledge, that's like scaling up. Time, devote time to do the right things. Let's make our kids the type of kids that recognize the importance of goal settings, the importance of using their time wisely, the importance of, this knowledge that I don't have time. Because many of them just have this feeling of, they're so relaxed and they feel they have time. Let them realize that time is what you have and time is what you don't have. Then execution. Talk is cheap, I always say that, but execution is key. How well are you executing? It's not enough to have a dream. What are you doing to make it happen? Then focus, laser focus directly on what you want, not tossing you, not moving to the left, not moving to the right. Then tribe, what kind of community are they building? That's where I talked about credible relationships. I know these days parents and people said it a lot of time that I don't want to work for people. I don't want to work for anybody. I want to do my thing. When you see young people, they have this mentality that I do not want to work for anybody. I just want to have my own business. While that is not a bad thing in any way, we need to make them understand that until they serve, they cannot be served. Until you give service, you can't give what you don't have. And these things need to be learned. I'm a Christian and I'll be giving Christian examples, biblical examples. Let's look at the life of Jesus, for instance. Jesus is seen as the greatest man that ever lived. And if you look at Jesus, at the age of 12, he was already he got missing. His parents were looking for him for 3 days. And when they searched for him for 3 days, they could not find him. When they got to see him, he told them something. Shouldn't you have known that I'll be about my father's business? And yes, let's now see the bigger picture that at that age of 12, Jesus had already identified his purpose. He was already walking towards it, talking to, the great men in the temple. And they were looking at him that, what kind of child is this? Where did he get this kind of wisdom? And when he went home with his parents, we didn't hear about Jesus for like 18 years. That is, he was serving. Until he started his ministry at 30, he was in service. So when people say, I don't want to work for people, they just want to do their thing. It's just a mindset let's begin to renew their minds that if you don't serve, you're going to fail in service. Let them begin to understand that until you serve others, God does not commit into your hands what you have not given out in the first place. Very important for us to start teaching them now, because I hear parents tell me that my child said she doesn't want to work for anybody, she just wants to indulge in business, and they feel it's a right thing to do. Please, this a call for us to understand that, to start teaching them that you need to start serving. And the earlier they learn to serve, the better they get at it, and the earlier they get it right. Okay, so he pointed out some countries, world-class countries like the United Kingdom, Canada, USA, France, Switzerland, Australia, Germany, Ireland, like world-class countries, and asked the question, what do you think of this? Like many persons, when you say it, most especially, let's look at it in the African way. I'm from the United Kingdom. I live in the United Kingdom. I live in the United States. They see that you are living in a world-class country. So what are these people looking out for? Do you understand? To be a world-class citizens, use these countries as case study. What are they looking out for? They are looking out for more than what we are focusing on. So this is just it. Let's concentrate on what they are looking out to become a global citizen in the world today. Look at the marks where it's green and where it's red. You need much more than academics. Let's look at the top 5 or 6. We talk about recognition. What are you recognized for? What are you known for? We look at all the ticks. That's the first one. The UK, the US, France, Australia, Ireland, Canada, Switzerland, Germany. Yes. Then achievements. What have you achieved? That's also, a tick. Expertise. What have you done? What are you very good at? Expertise, innovation, leadership. So we have recognition, achievement, expertise, innovation, leadership, impact. Do you understand? So if you look at majority of those countries, the first 5 or 6 are things they're looking out for. There is no place there that is talking about, even when we look at it down, there is no place talking about what is your academic achievements. And if you look at the world today, those people that are really making impact are those that have looked into their strengths. If we talk about Apple Incorporation, Steve Jobs, though dead today, but is still a man of relevance. We look at Apple Incorporation, we look at Steve Jobs. What did he do? He worked in his area of strength. He made impact in his area of strength. He was recognized, he achieved, he was an expert, he innovated, he was a leader, and he made impact. Even in death, we still remember Steve Jobs. So let's begin to see beyond the picture. Sometimes to see the real picture, to understand what success is all about, we need to, take stock, lay back and take stock of what the true success is and what we can use to change our world and remove it from the level of crisis where it is today. So what is the methodology? How do you go about this? Assess yourself. Let's begin to assess ourselves, assess our children. Where are you? What is the world-class benchmark for your dreams, for your aspirations? What do you want to achieve? What is your why? That is what we talked about the first time. Liberal Premium Tutors, our institution, is more about answering those questions of identity, source, purpose. Why am I here? That is what our institution does. Then road mapping. Where are you headed? You must be going somewhere. There's strategic visibility planning. Don't just feel that I just want to be anywhere. Like what I said earlier, that many people that I have met, they will just say, what do you want to be in future? And they will just say, I just want to be there. I just want to make it. Or what do you want out of life? And they are just like, where do you want to work? In a firm, just somewhere, just let me work. While it's good to be to work and not to be idle, it's very important to get it right. I made mention of Jesus. Jesus was specific. Didn't you know that I'll be about my Father's business? Then execution, coaching tools. What do they need to execute to make these things happen? Brand building and thought leadership. They need to have a plan. They need to follow the right path, not live their life zigzagly. Everybody is doing this, so that's what I'm going to do. It requires us laying back. That is why we chose this summer, because summer is a time they'll be resuming to a new academic year, whereby they already have plans, whereby they know they are already getting, a wave of what it is they want for their lives. Then he gave a story, which I've already said, from Equatorial Trust Bank to Central Bank of Nigeria to Chevron to Pistis. You must have a purpose bigger than you. Until your purpose is bigger than you, you're not headed anywhere. It is something that excites you and still frightens you at the same time, that, this is what I want to be. I want to be the president. I want to win a Nobel laureate. Purpose bigger than you. Then another thing, take time thinking, using the right framework. Let's get our children to think. Sometimes there's a saying that goes that boredom sparks creativity. Sometimes just leave them to think. What do you want to explore? And busyness is not equal to productivity. Many parents just get their children busy, but sometimes it takes them to just get laid back, do things out of the norm, and from there, the eureka feeling comes up and they get what they want. Then dissatisfaction with status quo. We must build their minds that they are not satisfied with what everybody else is doing. There is a yearning for more deep inside of them. Also, question status quo. Mr. Aderibigbe said he kept questioning. What's your plan? He will ask people. He will ask his leaders, what's your plan? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? And he saw that many people, irrespective of the fact that they worked in those places, they had a mediocre mentality. Meanwhile, we are made for more. Then he began to question himself too and decided to skill up, and he's still skilling up. when he said he volunteered, he worked with a PhD student, he did a lot of volunteering. Let's make our children understand that volunteering is part of growth, is a growth mentality. When you volunteer, you want to do more. It gives you a medium to expand yourself. Then stay inquisitive. Let's build our children to be critical thinkers and let them question things respectfully and in a way that makes us think and rethink that, oh, yes, this is it. That's where we understand that they are really growing. Choose your tribe, don't follow the herd. Choose your tribe, don't follow the herd. Let us build children that are vision oriented and let them understand that your tribe, your friends, what you do about your life, the choices you make is destiny. So if your friendship does not correspond with your vision and your friends, the kind of people you put around you, cut them off. Yes, you have only one life to live. Don't live it carelessly. Let's begin to make them understand that they should have an account of what they do with their time, whom they spend their time with whom, with what, how they spend it. So choose your tribe. Don't follow the herd. There's a saying from a poem that I love so much: the road less traveled makes all the difference. Everybody's doing it. That's the in thing. Does not mean that's the right thing. It might be good. It might not be good for everybody. So we need to do that. No one ever wins playing defense. Many parents are always on the defense. These days, they support their children's misconduct. They support all the wrong things their children do. And, we are not headed anywhere. Many parents will not even admit that their children did some certain things. It's a competitive world. And we say there's so much information in the world today. As much as there is so much information, people are still lonely. They are still confused. The confusion increases despite the information. That means there's so much chaos. And many times when there's chaos, you don't need to run. You need to just stay back and just watch. Why am I running this direction? So to choose to live on the defense in life is to choose to lose or at most have a draw. So for this reason, in our institution, this summer, we decided to introduce the Think Impact Summer Reading Club strictly for preteens and teens between the ages of 12 to 16. Think Impact is an innovative idea that has come to stay. And what do we expect? Why are we doing this Think Impact? What is Think Impact all about? Think Impact is a summer reading club for 6 weeks where we'll be looking at the life of Dr. Ben Carson. As a science teacher, I've seen over time that many times when we ask our students that what do you want to be in future, many of them say they want to be doctors. And whom are you looking at? Who is your role model? You say you want to be a doctor. Who is your role model? Many of them know Ben Carson, and many of them do not know Ben Carson. Aside neurosurgery, they don't know his real life or the chances it took, the ups and downs he faced. So we are taking these 6 weeks to delve into the life of Dr. Ben Carson, because if we look at his life, he's so synonymous with with what we call the average. It used to be an average life, but he dared for more and he got more. So why Dr. Ben Carson? 5 reasons we chose Ben Carson for the Think Impact Summer Reading Club. Number one thing, from struggle to success, is a real life experience of someone who struggled and earned success. So preteens and teenagers are able to know that someone is a living legend, is alive. Someone can move from struggle to success and what it will take. Ben Carson grew up in extreme poverty. He was raised by a single mom with only a 3rd grade education. That's his mom. She was the 23rd of 24 children. She married at 13. And struggled academically in his early years. That is Ben Carson. So from these things, see that failure doesn't define their future. It's a proof that your background doesn't have to put your back on the ground. So why Ben Carson? Why Dr. Ben Carson? Books changed his life. Ben Carson went from the bottom of his class to the top simply because his mother made him read. The most important thing. Many people do not know that books are everywhere. Like I said, information is everywhere. And the cheapest way to skill up is to read. The cheapest way to skill up is to read. This reinforces the importance of reading, curiosity, and academic excellence. It shows that consistent effort can lead to consistent growth. Then what else? Purpose-driven life. Why did we choose Ben Carson? Not only did he become a world-class, look at what we've been talking about, being world-class neurosurgeon, but he also stayed grounded. Because one of the things we need to look out for when I was talking about role models, consistency. He stayed grounded in his faith, in values, and purpose. Teens learn that success without character is empty. Dr. Ben Carson shows that it's possible to be great and godly, that you can have it all. You can be it all, because there's this mentality that no one is perfect. Truly, no one is perfect, but there are some people that have paid the price and lived life what, emulates. And Dr. Ben Carson is one of such. Then relatable yet extraordinary. His battles with anger issues, self-doubt, peer pressure, and identity are things everything faces today. So anger, when they become teenagers, it seems they become not exciting because they are transiting. Self-doubt, peer pressure, I want to be like this, and identity are things everything faces today. It shows how self-control, mentorship, and discipline changed the game. He didn't just think big, he lived it. So who else? What else? Number 5. Dr. Ben Carson's life teaches grit, faith, and impact. From performing historic surgeries to become a role model for youth worldwide, Ben Carson teaches students how to dream, how to persevere, and how to make their lives count. Ben Carson was once a struggling teenager, just like many of our participants. Some of them, it might not be academics. They are struggling with identity. They are in the valley of decision. Who am I? What am I? There's a lot of pressure. They want to be like their friends. They want to dress like their friends. They want to do their own thing. So Ben Carson was once a struggling teenager, just like many of our participants. His transformation through books, belief, discipline, and divine purpose makes him the ideal model for young people learning to think with clarity and live with impact. So this Think Impact Summer Reading Club, how does Think Impact want to solve this problem? Through a 6-week interactive online book club centered around the life of Dr. Ben Carson, Think Impact encourages daily reading and comprehension. It uses powerful real-life stories to inspire character and grit. It offers a safe, fun, and intellectually rich community. It provides mentorship, reflection, and personal goal setting. We are going to teach the children, the kids, all of this so that they begin to live their lives purposefully. Think Impact Summer Reading Club has come to stay. So what is the proposed impact on the kids? By the end of the program, participants will grow in confidence, literacy, and self-discipline. They will understand that reading should be enjoyed, not endured. That's because they'll be more focused on their goals and dreams. They'll develop a stronger sense of identity and purpose. They'll be equipped with life's principle to think big and make positive choices. No one beats a man who self-educates himself. If you look at Ben Carson's life, he was not privileged in any form, but he invested in educating himself. So irrespective of whom you are, what you are, where you are, you can still make it because everyone is born with potential. So you just have to identify your purpose. You have to be passionate about it and do the work it requires. So it's important to educate our minds richly because every battle is lost or won in our mind. Therefore, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Let's catch their mind young enough. Let's begin to, renew it, transform it. You understand? So that it will not be conformed to what everybody does. They will live the unique life they've been destined, they've been purposed to. So therefore, they need to be empowered to lead. We need leaders. We don't need politicians anymore. The world needs to be better. So we need to empower these kids need to be empowered to lead and make impact in their homes, schools, and communities. So Think Impact has come to stay. And the reason for the program is because today's teens and preteens face increasing distraction, low reading interest, and lack of positive role models. Think Impact was created to offer a purposeful and inspiring summer experience that nurtures their minds, their values, visions for the future. So it's very important. Register your child for Think Impact, and it's going to be mind-blowing. For more information, just contact us, and we'll give you everything you need to know. Thank you for a very, very beautiful time.